this is Jamie from Creations Misfit, and today I have a Stash Buster project for you. A lot of people were asking for something they could make with all their, odds and ends yarns. So today we're going to do a Buster project. So we are going to make Dammit Dolls or Darn It Dolls. These are a great gift for like gag gifts, white elephants, just anybody that likes a good funny gift, or even for yourself. These are great stress busters. So I have one here that I made already, and we stuff these, and what we do is I put like a little poem with it. That's what most people do, and you just explain to them. I'll have to find it here in a second, and I'll let you know what it says. But these are meant to be stress busters. So like if you're feeling stressful, you take this thing and you whack it against, whatever it is, the windowsill or a door or the floor or whatever, or you can just throw it. I just throw it sometimes when I'm mad, and you're supposed to scream, damn it, damn it, damn it. So that's why they're called Dammit Dolls. So anyway, we are going to make these today. You could use all of your scrap yarn. This one I used a variegated yarn because I just had some extra, but you'll need about, I would say, 80 to 100 yards, and you could use, just your scrap yarn. So I'm going to use these little guys that I have. They each have about 22 yards in them, and these are Mira Handicrafts, or Handcrafts yarn. And then besides that, you will need a 4mm hook, or you could use a 3.5 if you're more comfortable with that. These are a DK weight size 3 yarn. This one I made was Red Heart yarn size 4, so it doesn't really matter, whatever you're more comfortable with. I, use both, and it works out the same, just a little bit smaller if you use a DK weight. So about 80 to 100 yards of yarn, and a 4mm hook, or 3.5 if you'd rather, and then some scissors and yarn needle to sew in your ends. And then you will also need something to stuff it with. You could use like polyfill, which you can get pretty cheap at the store, like any kind of craft store or Walmart. I just use all my scrap yarn. I have like a big bag and a big like vase of all my little scrap pieces, and I just stuff it with that. So whatever you have is fine. All right, so to get started, we are going to start from the top of the head right here, and we're going to work our way down, and then we're going to do one leg and the other, and then we're going to do the 2 arms, and we will do the face like when we're about halfway down here. I do the hair last. So that is how we get started. All right, let me find the poem really quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found the poem. Also, I just want to put a disclaimer out really quick on this video. A lot of my videos lately, people have been leaving comments saying, I hope you feel better soon, your cold sounds awful. I just have really bad sinuses, so that's what I sound like right now for the time being. I just wanted to apologize if it's annoying to anybody, but I have noticed a slew of comments lately about it, so I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you so much, but yeah, it's just how I sound for the time being until my sinuses get cleared up. All right, so for this, this is just a poem that I did, which is very similar to what a lot of other people did. These are my own words, so, you can just make up your own. But it just says, whenever things aren't going well, you may want to hit the wall and yell, here's a big old damn it doll that you can't do without. Grasp it firmly by the legs and find a place to slam it. As you whack the sturdy guy, yell, damn it, damn it, damn it. So I put these in, I like laminate these and then put it in with the doll when I gift it to somebody or when I sell them in my Etsy shop. So that's up to you. You don't have to do that, but just an option. All right, so I'm going to start with this bluish color here. And, oops. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And we are going to start with a slip knot. And then you are going to chain 11. Oops. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And you kind of want to do your crocheting a little bit tight because since we stuff it, you don't want any stuffing coming out, but I crochet a little bit looser normally, and I do just okay with, you know, just fine with stuffing it. If you can see a little bit of the stuffing, it's not that big of a deal. All right, so starting in the second chain, we are going to do a single crochet all the way back across. So we're going to skip this very first chain there and start in the second one, and we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet in every stitch across. So there should be 10 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whoops. Okay, so you should have 10 across. And now we are going to turn our work, kind of just go around to the back side. And now when we're going to single crochet on this side, I just hide my tail behind my single crochets. That way I don't have to sew it in or anything. You don't have to do that. You could actually probably just leave it as well, because since we're stuffing, it will just kind of fall back, but I like to hide it in the back. So we are going to single crochet in the back now. So these were our chains, so it's not going to look like a regular stitch. So you just want to make sure that you get underneath like where the chain is. So there should be 10. We're going to go into this first one here. This over here is not a stitch. That's just the corner. So make sure you turn it. And we're going to do 10 across the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and make sure you grab that last one, 10. Oops. It's a little hard to get the last one. All right, so this is what we should have. This is the top of the head now. Okay, and then we are going to single crochet all the way around. Now we should have 20 stitches. So we're going to single crochet around, but we're going to do the back loops only just for this round. So if you're unfamiliar with the back loops, every stitch has a front loop and a back loop, and we are just going to go into the back loops. It creates like a little bit of a, it kind of like stands out, so it just, I don't know, just creates a little bit of a, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but you'll see. So we want to go into this first one here, not the one that is on our hook, but the very first stitch, and single crochet in the back loop only. A ridge is the word I was looking for. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. Oops, I didn't get all the way through that one. You know what, go ahead and do yours. I will do mine off camera, so I'm not counting out every single one. And you should have 20 when you get around. I'll meet you right back. All right, I finished up my 20. And this is kind of how it should be looking. It's going to start curling up here. And for the next round, we are going to do 20 single crochets around again, but we're going to do them just regular, not in the back loop only. See how that kind of leaves a ridge on the top? That's why we did back loop only. So for the next one, the next 20, we're just going to do regular. So go into that first one, and we're going to do regular single crochets around. 1, 2, 3. Make sure that you're counting, because it's very important that you have 20 all the way around, and especially when we get lower onto the body for our stitch count. So go ahead and do your 20 all the way around, and then we will come back. Okay, here's the end of round 3. This is what we should have. And now for rounds 4 through rounds 13, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do 20 single crochets all the way around. And if you want to use a stitch holder, you could do that, you know, if you don't want to count your stitches or you're having trouble keeping up with the 20, you can put a stitch holder there and then, you know, stitch around each round. That's up to you. So for we're going to start with round 4 here, do 20 single crochets all the way around. There's no chaining in between or anything like that. It's just 20 around. And then we're going to do rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So go through 13, and then we will meet back up to start making our face. Okay, I finished my 13th row. This is about what it should be looking like. And I'm just going to leave this yarn attached, but we're going to work on our face now. So just kind of pull up the yarn so it doesn't unravel. And then you can get, if you'd like, well, you probably want to do a different color for the face. So you can do anything you want for the face. I kind of just do these X's for the eyes and then a straight across mouth. That's what I do for all of mine, and they don't have to be perfect. That's kind of what's fun about this guy, is that, you know, he's supposed to be a little bit imperfect. So I'm going to use a gray yarn. You can use any color you want, and just take about, I don't know, maybe a foot and a half of yarn and cut it. This will be for the eyes and the mouth. And then I just tie a couple knots, like regular knots, at the end of the yarn so that it doesn't pull through. Okay, and then we are going to get our yarn needle and put the gray on the yarn needle. And then, like I said, from there you can do your face however you want. I just kind of go through and do the X's for the face. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know, I just do what I think feels okay at the time. They all turn out a little bit different, and that's okay. It's kind of a small eye, but it's all right. That's what I like about these, is that they're all different. No two are alike. I don't know how I want to do this. Okay, so then we have the eyes. And then for the mouth, I just start down a ways, and I kind of start on the end here, and I come up through the bottom, and then just go into the very next one straight down, and then wait, let me think. Yeah, okay, and then go into the next one. And I just go across like this. It's kind of hard to see on here, but I do every stitch across, and then I work my way back, so that's how it comes to be a straight mouth. Okay, so I'll do one more here. kind of see it there. So then what I do is I just do the same back through the other way. So I go up through this one here and down into the next. And that makes it straight. So go up through here and down. And then one more. Okay, so there's the face. And then I just kind of weave in on the inside a little bit. Just go through a few stitches to weave in your end, but make sure that you don't go through the front so that you can see that color. Oh, whoops. Let me weave this in and then I will come right back. Okay, I just wove in the face, the grays, and I'm back with my blue. So what we're going to do from here is continue on doing 20 single crochets all the way around until the body reaches about 9 or 10 inches. It's really up to you how long you want it. This one here, and I mean by the body, I mean from the top of the head all the way down before we start the legs. So this one's about almost 10 inches or 9.5 inches if you want to do it that long. You can do it shorter too if you only want to do, you know, 7 inches or something like that. That's fine. So I'm going to do mine until it's about 9.5 inches. We're just going to do 20 single crochets all the way around every single row. So you don't necessarily have to count how many rows you did, but you definitely need to make sure that there are 20 stitches all the way around, because when we get to the legs, you need 10 for each leg, 10 stitches for each leg. So if you want to use a piece of yarn to kind of keep track or a stitch marker, you can do that. I just kind of count 20, 20, 20, 20 until I get to about 9.5 inches. So keep going. And also you're going to want to stuff as you go. So like right now, you might want to stuff some, I just have, I mean, I have a whole bag, but just to show you, I have like some of this old blanket yarn and scraps, so you may want to just shove some of that in there as you're going. Just make sure you keep stuffing as you go, like, I don't know, every inch or two, so that it's even throughout. You just kind of stuff in there, work it around to make sure that it fits okay, and you can stuff it as bulky or as thin as you'd like. But I just do like that, and then I crochet some more and then stuff some more. So make sure you're doing that as you go. So go ahead, and I will come back about halfway through to show you what he's looking like. But otherwise, just go ahead and crochet 20 single crochets around in every single row until you get your desired length. I'm coming up to the end of my blue yarn here, so I'm going to switch over to orange. And I just wanted to show you how I do that, and also just let you know, obviously, you can change your colors as much as you want. If you want to stripe this, or, you know, every couple rows change colors. I just kind of go through a full ball and of this little stuff anyways, and then switch off. So you can either do the magic knot, which I usually use when I'm switching colors, but for this one, since it's a little bit tighter stitch, I don't want any kind of knot showing, but I do have a magic knot video I'll put in the description box if you'd like to try that. Otherwise, I just get my new yarn, I do one stitch here, and then before I yarn over and pull it through, I just pull through with the new color like that, and then I just kind of pull that tight, and then I just start stitching with the new color. So I'll pull these behind it and just kind of stitch them in as I go. That way it's a seamless, oops, a seamless join. And then just keep up with my single crochets around. And you can just kind of throw this, once you've gone around enough times, you can just kind of push these back into where you're going to be stuffing it. So there we are. So that's how you would change yarn color if you'd like to change. So I am about 5 inches here, 5.5 inches. So I have about 4.5 more to go, and then I will come back. You guys, I just want to check in here. I'm at about 8 inches, so I have about another 1.5 inches to go. This is what should be kind of looking like. I just realized that this is kind of looking like Gumby colors. I did not need for that, but so hopefully everybody's is doing well. I maybe about every 1.5 to 2 inches I just stuff a little bit more in there and then kind of even it out, you know, to make it flat and equal with the rest. So go ahead and keep going if you're going. Otherwise, I will be right back so that we can start the legs. This is the longest part, so if you're feeling like this is taking forever, you're not alone. This part always feels so long to me, but it gets a little bit quicker after this. We just have the 2 legs and the arms, and then some quick hair at the end. So I will see you back in a few. Okay, my body is now, or my Dammit Dolls body is about 9.5 inches. So we're going to do one more round before we go on to the legs. So from here, we're going to do 1 round of single crochet again, 20 around, but we're going to go in the back loops only so that we kind of leave like a ridge here before we get into the legs. Okay, so let's do our back loop only single crochets all the way around. We're going to do 20, 2, so go ahead and do yours and I will see you back after this round. Alright, after your 20 back loop only single crochets, you're going to want to make sure that you're stuffed to the top here, because we're going to start on the legs, and once you start that, it's kind of hard to go back and stuff the body through either of the legs. So go ahead and get your stuffing up to the top here. Make sure the body is stuffed to your liking. Put just a couple more pieces in. And you can use any kind of stuffing. Like I said, I'm using this blanket yarn because I had extra, but even like little strands, that's what I normally use. Just all my scraps from other projects. All right, so from here we are going to start the legs. So what we're going to do is, this is why it's important that you have 20 stitches. So we are going to count to the left 10 stitches. Not the one that we're in right here. Sorry, make sure that it's on camera. We're going to start the one after that, so right here. So go ahead and count 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to go into the 11th stitch. We're going to slip our hook right through to the 11th. Let me count those again to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, we're going to put our hook into the 11th stitch. And then yarn over and pull through like a slip stitch. Okay, so that's going to divide our 2 legs. And then turn your work. And we're going to single crochet into that same stitch that we just made the slip stitch in. Single crochet into that one. That's going to be 1. And then we're going to single crochet around, so there should be 10 altogether. So that was 1, 2, 3. And it's kind of hard when you first are starting, you know, to kind of hold it in the right place and everything, but it will get easier. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so you should have 10, and we are just going to keep doing this in the round, 10 stitches all the way around until our leg measures 4 inches, or as long as you'd like, but I usually do about 4, maybe 4.5 inches. So that's up to you. So just keep going, make sure that you have 10 each round, and if there's like a little hole here or anything, don't worry, we can stitch that up later when we do after we do the second leg. So go ahead and keep doing 10 single crochets all the way around until your leg measures about 4.5 inches, and then don't tie off yet because we're going to need a long piece. Okay, so I will see you back here at the end of this leg. Guys, sorry, I just wanted to show you too. I kind of put my finger in here and then just start going around. It makes it a little bit easier because otherwise you're really trying to, it's hard to get around something so little. So I just start doing this 2, 3, 4, 5. It just makes it a little bit easier. So make sure that also that you're stuffing as you go, because the legs can get kind of funny if you try to push too much down in there later. So make sure that you're stuffing as you go, maybe like every inch. All right, so I have about a 4-inch leg here, and I've stuffed it just about to the top there. So I'm all good. You want to make sure that you stuff yours before we close off, and sometimes I just use the back of my hook if you are having trouble getting the stuffing in. I'm going to do just a little bit more at the top here, and then we can close up this leg. All right, so go ahead and let's see, I'm going to chain 1 here, and then leave like a, maybe, okay, leave kind of a long tail, and go ahead and cut your yarn. And you can pull it through, and then we're going to put it onto our needle and sew up this leg. So to sew the leg up, I just go in and out of every stitch around. So I go one way and then come back the other way through the next stitch. And this will allow it to cinch closed at the top. So just in and out of each stitch. Try not to pick up any of the stuffing that you have there at the top. Okay, and then if you just pull that tight, oh, some of my stuffing's coming out. If you just pull that tight, then that's all good. So I just put the needle straight through the top of the foot like this and let it come out wherever. It doesn't matter where. Just pull that securely and then go into maybe the next stitch down and let it come out somewhere else. This is just securing the thread throughout. And maybe again, let it come out over here, and then you could just cut your yarn and be done with that. If there is looking, well, we're going to do the other leg first, and then if we need to sew up there, we can. But from here, you can just cut your yarn, and we will move on to the second leg. I'm going to grab my next color for the second leg. All right, here we go with the second leg. So I'm going to start a new color. You don't have to, but Either way, we're all going to be putting on our new yarn. So we're going to go into, you should have 10 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this last one will be 10 here that we're going to close up. So go ahead and put your hook through the first stitch and put your yarn on and pull it through. And then you're going to chain 1, whoops, and we're going to do a single crochet in that same stitch. So that will be our first one. So that's 1, and then we're going to do 10 around, 2, 3, and I'm just pulling my yarn back here to kind of hide it, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 8, 9, and your 10th one, you want to go through here, but connect it to the other side, if you can see that. So we have to connect our 10th one. So go through the stitch here and connect it to the other side and pull through that way for your 10th. Okay, and then that should secure it. You can just kind of shove this guy in there then, or cut it off, doesn't matter. And we are just going to do the same thing now from here on out. We're going to do 10 single crochets all the way around until we get to about 4.5 inches. Just, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but just kind of measure it off of your second or your first leg. So 10 stitches, 10 single crochets all the way around until you get to the same length, and then we will meet back. Make sure you're stuffing as you go. I just wanted to say too, again, I know this is really awkward to get around these 10. You might be feeling like you're doing something wrong, but you're probably not. As long as you have 10, you know, just make sure that you have 10 stitches around. It's just awkward because the leg is here and this is so small, especially if you've never done like any kind of plushies or anything like that. It just can feel really weird, but I'm sure that you're doing fine. So just stick with it and it will be done before you know it. All right, so our second leg is done. I went ahead and closed up the top, or the bottom, I guess, which like we did for the other one. And then I'm just going to put this through a few places. You don't want to pull too tight because then it will kind of cinch in. Here, if sometimes there's like a little hole right between the legs, mine is closed on this one, but sometimes if there's a little hole there, just work your way down with the needle, just kind of go in and out, and then you can work your way over here to the middle section, and if you need to, sorry, I hope this is on camera, if you need to close this up, you can do that there. Just go back and forth or in and out or however you need to. Of course, this one's closed, but normally I have like a little hole there. So do what you need to do there, and then you can just put your needle through and cut your yarn. Okay, so our guy's coming along here. Now we're going to move on to the arms, which are quicker. Let me grab my yarn. All right, so to start with the first arm, Well, these are identical. You're going to make two. So we are going to do a magic circle. If you're not familiar with the magic circle, if you don't like it, let me just show you a real easy way to do it. I also have a longer video for it that I'll put in the description box if you'd like to check that out. But this is really simple. If you don't want to do this, you can chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain and then just work in the middle of that if you'd rather. But I just do my magic circle like this, put my yarn over 3 fingers, wrap it around the back, and make a cross in the back and kind of just hold it with my pinky. And then I go under this first piece of yarn over the second one and pull up and around. And that's your magic circle right there. And you're going to want to chain 1 after that. So I just chain 1 the same way while it's on my fingers. I go under this one and pull it through for my chain 1. And then slide it off my fingers and you have your magic circle, and it's nice and tight there because you've already done your chain 1. Okay, so inside the magic circle, we are going to do 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, this is just right inside the circle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then pull that closed with your loose piece here. And we're going to slip stitch to the very first single crochet that we did. Okay, so single crochet, or slip stitch to the first single crochet. And now we are going to single crochet all the way around each of the 9 stitches, and we're going to do the back loop only again, just for this round. So we'll go into the very first one. There's no chain or anything like that. Just go into the back loop of the very first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You can pull that tight. And then from there we are just going to do 9 single crochets all the way around in the whole stitch. That was the only round that we did the back loop only, so that it left like a ridge there for the bottom of the hand. So we're going to do 9 single crochets all the way around until our arm reaches 2.5 inches. Okay, so go ahead and keep working on yours. If you'd like to make both of your arms and then come back, that will be fine too. But go ahead and do, I'll come back after I do one just to show you what it should look like. And we're actually don't do both arms because we have to close off and finish and everything like that. So just go ahead and do yours until it's 2.5 inches, and then we will meet back up, and make sure that you stuff as you go as well. Okay, my arm is 2.5 inches now, so we have 2 more rounds of this arm and then we can tie it off. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to decrease and do single crochet 2 together. So if you're unfamiliar how to do that, you go into the first stitch like a regular single crochet, yarn over, and pull up your loop. So you have 2 loops on the hook. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So that's putting 1 or 2 stitches together. And we're going to repeat that pattern around. So we do 1 single crochet and then a single crochet 2 together. So go in the first one, pull up a loop, go in the second one, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3. Okay, and then single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together, single crochet, and single crochet 2 together. So now we should have 6 stitches left, and we're going to repeat that round. We're just going to do the exact same thing. So you do your single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together. Oops. It's kind of hard to see when you get to this point, but just do your best. And then 1 single crochet. And single crochet 2 together. I don't know, I may have messed up on my counts here while I was trying to do it at the same time, but that's fine. As long as it closes up, it's no big deal. All right, so that's that, and then you can chain 1 and cut your yarn, cut kind of a long piece so we can sew in. Go ahead and put it on your sewing needle here. Now, there's not really a good way of doing this. I mean, just kind of sew it on the best that you can. I kind of put it somewhere around here and just go through, like I try to go through the this part and then through one of the stitches. I mean, you probably have a better way of doing this than I do. It doesn't look pretty, and it's not supposed to, so don't stress too much about it. And then just make sure you're going through both pieces, the body and the arm. And I go back and forth a couple times through different stitches or different portions of the arm and the body, because that's kind of still a little flimsy. So then I just try to go back through different pieces. And that feels good. I mean, the arm can move then. So from there, just put your yarn through and across the body, and you can cut it. Okay, so we're almost done. So go ahead and make your other arm. We'll do the same way as we did this one. Start with the magic circle and 9 single crochets in the magic circle, and then you're going to do 9 single crochets in the back loop only, and then just 9 single crochets all the way around until you have 2.5 inches of arm, and then the last 2 are just single crochet, decrease, alternate those for the last 2 rounds, and then so on. And then we will come back and finish the hair, and that's it. Then we're done. I'll see you back here soon. Okay, so I have both arms on. Looking like a mess, but that's okay. So we're down to the very last part, which is the hair. You can do the hair however you want, obviously. This is how I do it. Most people just kind of leave the hair, like they'll put the hair on and just kind of leave it up like this. I do these knots just to give it a little bit of a different look. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, whatever you decide to do. So this is how I do mine. I'm going to do gray because that's what I did the eyes and the mouth. So I just put my yarn a little bit on the needle here, and in the top, you can kind of see all these stitches going down. I go through one like this, just underneath one, and pull my yarn through. And then if you want, you could just tie a knot here, maybe 1 or 2 knots, and then just cut the hair and kind of leave it as is, like leave it floppy. I just keep knotting it. So I think I do maybe like 16 or 18 knots. I just keep knotting it just to give it a little bit of a different look. I've never seen anybody else do that. It just, sometimes my hair was like, when I was trying to do it the other way, the hair was just so floppy that it was like hanging down and stuff, and I don't know, I wasn't doing it the proper way that other people were doing theirs. So I just thought, well, I wonder if this will work. So like I said, it's up to you. But I do this across maybe 4 or 5 pieces of hair across the top, and I just knot maybe about, like I said, 16 to 18 times. I'll just do this one here to show you once I get it a little bit longer. But otherwise, that's our project, so you're done. Thank you for sticking with me if you made it this far. I hope this was helpful. And if you'd like to subscribe, if you're not subscribed already, I would be really grateful. And if you could like this video, that would be appreciated as well. I have a lot of YouTube tutorials already, so if you want to check out my channel, I'll also put a link in the description box of my channel so that you can look at all the other videos. But there's something for everybody on here: small projects, larger projects, a lot of smaller ones, because I get impatient. Like this doll taking, I don't know how many hours, maybe like a couple hours or whatever, I start to get impatient. So there's hats and scarves, messy bun beanies, cup cozies, fingerless gloves, all kinds of stuff on here. So yeah, take a look if you'd like. And I will be posting a lot more too. Okay, so I just do that, and then I cut at the top like this, and just leave it like that. So that's it. That is your doll. You're all done once you get your hair done. And like I said, thank you so much for hanging out. And if you'd like to, if you made one of these and you'd like to have me see it, I'm on Instagram at CreationsMisfit. You can tag me there or send me a message. And thank you guys so much. I hope you have a really great day.